Hello, everyone. Donna, hello, how are you? Robert, Penny, hi. Penny, we have to get you your own account. Um, whatever that means I don't even know how to do all that stuff. I know I have an account. That's because my husband helped me set it up. So we need to get you an account, Penny, so we know it's you. But you could always tell us it's you too. Hi, Carol. Good morning. Sunny day. Seriously, I went outside today and I just looked at the sun. I'm one who I was born in Hollywood and lived in California most of my life. I lived 1 year in Scotland, or 14 months in Scotland, and 3 years in New York. But other than that, I've lived here. So I always 70 degrees and sunny. Like that's what it always is. And this winter, definitely, we've had more gray and less sun. So when you do get the sun back, there's such an appreciation. And today I went out, and honestly, it was actually a little warm too. And I just closed my eyes and just let the sun hit my skin. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm appreciating this today. So yes, it is a beautiful sunny day here today. And I don't really think we have rain in the forecast. So that's awesome. Hello, Sharon, with your cat in the box. Love that. Me either, Penny. I don't know how either. You know what? Can you ask a kid or a grandkid or a younger person? That's what I do. It's amazing. I've got these young girls that work for me. When I say young, they're in their 30s, plus some in their 20s. It's amazing. They are so savvy at this because they grew up with it. It's the language they speak. So I just put together, I've got a team that I have working with me, and I put them into this calendar planning software, which I still don't even know how to use. And it's amazing to watch these young minds organize and, I'll do this, I'll do this. It's really amazing. So ask a young person, Penny, let's get you your own account, and then you choose your own image that you want. So that will be something. And I have gone on live to some Facebook things. So it's just been a while since I've done that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that's usually what I do. I ask the young ones because they're so amazing. My dad always says, my son, he goes, he's so smart. I'm like, yeah, I mean, he is. And I ask him too. I call my son. I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do that? If the TV's not working, I call him. He doesn't even live in this state anymore. And I call him, what do I do? So anyway, ask the young minds because they know how to do all this. All right, what's going on? And with Penny, have you been with me before? So I don't even know if I've seen you before. So if not, or if you have, sorry if I don't remember, but if you wanted to tell me anything in particular about your body or what's going on, I'd love to know. And also I'd like to know what your level is. For the rest of the ladies that are here, I know them personally. So I know what their level is. And I know that today's class will be perfect for them. And I just want to modify for you once I know a little more. So today, when I was first coming on, I thought yoga for osteoporosis, is this really what I should be calling this? Or should I call this yoga for stronger bones? Because that is exactly what or really yoga therapy for stronger bones, because that is the main goal. So we'll see what happens with that. No, you haven't. Okay, well, welcome. Nice to have you. All right. So let's get to it, and I'll do some explaining, and then you can all modify accordingly. All right. So kind of neat, right? That we can communicate like this. I don't even know where you live, where you are. I know some of these ladies are in Los Angeles, which is where I am, yet we can practice together wherever we are. And even when I travel, especially when I'm in the UK, I go there often, I teach from there. And I just think it's amazing that this opportunity exists. And that's one of the things that came out of this time in the last few years for us, is that we need to figure out how to do what we need to do digitally. And there's a lot of opportunity for that, good, not good. There's every side of the coin. But we do have this opportunity now to take this time out to focus on the important aspects of bone health: posture, alignment, joint coordination, creating bone building stimulation. It's one of the two main ways we build bones. We either have the nutrients to build them or what we do every day to demand more. So we have this opportunity now to do that. That's what we're going to do. Today's class is going to focus on strength, especially around the pelvic area, the hips, the pelvis, the stabilizing aspects of the core. You'll do whatever is appropriate for you. So bring yourself to your edge. Go to the place where you're demanding as much as you can safely and strongly. The way you're going to do that is set yourself up and commit to right here, right now is where you're going to be. You're going to stay here for the next hour plus with your body and your mind to do what you can with the intention of strength, strengthening balance, posture, alignment, strengthening your mind, because the more confident you feel, the more strong you feel in your physical body, the stronger you feel in your mind. And with that comes more movement, and more movement means more strength. So this week I had two separate conversations with women that were, wow. One of them, it's a woman I've been working with for about 6 months in my program, Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones. And she's at the end of her time. And she said, I actually feel stronger and more confident. And I started doing Tai Chi and Zumba. She's doing things with silver sneakers, all these classes they have. She didn't feel that way 6 months ago, but now she has that confidence to do it. And the more she moves, the stronger her bones will get, which is amazing. And then another woman this week said, I started dancing again because she feels confident to do so. So you're going to develop strength here in your body and in your mind. And when you start to get it in here, it trickles down into here. So for today's practice, the props we're going to need. Now, this is a weird one. This is one that I have, not all of you do. And I'm going to use this for my spine today to support a back bend shape in my spine. This is an egg block, 3-minute egg. I love this prop. I recommend you purchase this to help with posture. So to help take that hump out of the back, really getting that back bend shape into the spine. It's what I'm going to use today, but you don't have to have this. What I would like you to have for today's practice is a strap and a block and a blanket. And if you do not have a strap, a block, or a blanket, you have a blanket or a towel, get extra towels, because you could roll up towels and make that like a block. You could even use a towel as a strap. So the real big thing to have is blankets. I'm going to use this. I'm going to start off my day like this, supporting my back bend here and here on my head and my chest. If you don't have those things, you could either come straight down onto the ground and use the blanket underneath your head and arms out to the side to do a little posture work, or take your blanket on the long version and roll it up. Tighter you roll this, heavier your blanket is, the bigger that'll be. Your entire spine would be supported with this blanket. Many options, and supported spinal extension, which is what this is. A back bend is an extension curve. When we do this and we bring this into our body, this stretches open the front of the spine, which is what we really need to focus on when it comes to osteoporosis. So keep your props off to the side. Get yourself set up for whatever it is you're going to do. What is your posture that you're going to begin with today? We're going to come down into the ground. We're going to connect the mind and the body to this moment so that we can be as safe possible when we do the practice. When you do lower yourself down, coming to the side, keeping your spine long is the best option. Or if you are going to come onto a block like this, which I know some of you actually have this prop, then you would want to make sure that the front spine stays long and doesn't bend, doesn't close in on itself. And then bring yourself down slowly. If you close your eyes on your way down, you'll start to notice the nooks and crannies, the place that you're actually going to be stretching. And then when you come in, close your eyes, take a little while to arrive. Push your feet into the floor and lift your body away from the floor. Noticing what you notice. Head is supported, and then bring your arms out to the side and start exploring a safe stretch for you in your shoulders and in your chest. Long neck, long back neck, chin up towards the sky. Start to explore, where is the safe zone for you? Letting your arms gently move up and down. And with the eyes closed, you could go into the place of feeling and noticing. This is how we keep ourselves safe. The farther away from your body your arms go, the stronger the stretch will be in your shoulders and chest. And the bigger the prop behind your spine, the stronger the stretch is in your spine. So do what's appropriate. Find the best for you. A little movement to ground mental energy and to bring your awareness to where you should be. Maybe letting one arm at a time move. Whatever it is you want to do, but bring some movement. Be moving so you're feeling and experiencing and exploring. And then take your arms out to the side. Come into a place where you feel a pretty deep and appropriate stretch on the chest, the spine, wherever it is. And when you do that, you may experience a stretch up in the shoulder area or up in the neck area. This can also bring up the asymmetry. Maybe one side is tight, the other isn't. So noticing what you notice. Pushing your belly button towards your spine helps to support the low back. And then close the mouth. Once you get into where you're going to be, the deepest variation of the posture for you, let's begin to deepen the breath, connect to the breath, and practice some breath work so you have some tools to use to calm your mind and calm your body. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through the nose. Bring your awareness to the breath going all the way down to the belly. Today I'd like to do a square breathing. 4, 4, 4, and 4. Now there is a holding here at the end of the inhale and the end of the exhale. So make sure it's appropriate for you. If you try this and holding your breath for 4 is too intense, then maybe you stick with breath of peace called Sukha Pranayama, which is a 4 for the inhale and a 4 for the exhale. So let me guide you through 4, 4, 4, and 4 for a couple of rounds. Then you practice what feels the best and the safest for you. Take a big breath to exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose.
Make the visual shape of a square and count 4, 4, 4, and 4, or maybe you need to go to a different number. Practice square breathing. Stay with counting, stay with visualizing a square. Stay here. Wherever you feel the most tension, breathe to that place. And then wherever you are, finish this last breath and do 2 more complete rounds of breath. And when you finish your last breath, give your breath back to your body. Keep your mouth closed, breathe in and out through your nose. Take one more breath. Begin to move your fingers and toes. Put your body in a position where you bring in the deepest stretch possible. If you're able to bring your arms overhead, try that. Or out to the side, whatever it is, take some moments to move your body in a way when you have this prop behind you to bring in even more stretching. And then bend your knees. Bring yourself off your prop onto your side. Come all the way off, come all the way onto your side. Let your body settle here. We're going to come up slow, strengthening our upper body. Our shoulders, our chest muscles don't come up quickly. Repattern those movements, going slow, really working in the joints of the shoulder here, keeping your shoulder strong. Let your head be in alignment with your shoulder. Don't let your head lift up. And use the pushing muscles to bring yourself slowly up and away from the floor. Let's prepare the space. Bring your blanket back onto your mat. So we're going to come down onto the ground, work on stabilizing the core, working on core strength, and then we'll do some of the postures that are strengthening the core, strengthening the spine. So make sure you have your props, your block and your strap handy. Bring yourself down onto your buttocks, come to the side, keep the spine nice and long, never collapsing in the front of the spine. Really, before we go down, paying attention to this part of your spine, below the heart and right by the belly button. When we're on the ground, whenever we're doing anything, notice here that this part of your spine stays lengthened, doesn't press into itself, to help protect you against spinal wedge fractures and to keep your spine healthy, especially if you have a diagnosis of osteoporosis. Bring yourself onto the ground. Move your body so that only the blanket is underneath your head. It's not underneath your upper back. Knees are bent, feet are flat. Be body distance here, be hip distance here. Let's start to move the spine, tilting the pelvis back, flattening the low back into the ground. Keep your tushy cheeks soft. Let this be core work. So your pubic bone is at the base of your body. Contract your core to lift your pubic bone up towards your belly button and your lower ribs. Let that be the action. Pubic bone up to belly and lower ribs. Contract your core to actually rock your torso. Feel yourself rocking, tilting your pelvis backwards and then back up to neutral. Feel yourself rocking from tailbone, sacrum. Feel the top of the pelvis pressing into the ground when you do this. Using the deep core muscles. Bring yourself back to neutral. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your left leg up. Flatten your left lower back towards the ground. Draw the knee in as deep as you can. Feel that left low back pressing into the floor. Inhale to release. Exhale, do the same thing with left side, really drawing the knee in, flattening the low back, and then bring yourself back. Notice if you feel anything happening in your spine, anything happening in your head, in your chest area. Everything is connected. Do this with vigor. You're not just casually lifting your leg up. You're using the muscles to contract, to draw your leg in, and to tilt your pelvis backwards, and to flatten your left side low back into the ground. So you should feel warm now in your tummy. Let's go to the other side. Contract, draw the leg in, flatten the low back. Feel what's happening. Close your eyes. What's happening to your spine? What's happening to your chest? What's happening to your core, to your low back, to your leg? Feel all of that. You exhale to draw your leg in. Lots of strength. Stronger bones need stronger muscles. Activate your muscles, contract your core, strengthen your core. And then bring yourself down. Extra points for those that feel like they have the strength to do this. We're going to do both legs at the same time. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring your legs off. You have to press into your pelvis, turning on your core, drawing your knees in, tilting your pelvis back. Contract your core, flatten your low back like crazy. And then inhale, control that on the way down. Touch your toes down. Exhale, draw the knees in. Inhale, touch your toes down. Exhale. Try not to let your low back fly away from the floor when you let your legs go down. And then bring your legs down. Notice if you feel a lot of heat here, warming up the core using stabilizing muscles. Take your arms out to the side. Take your feet wide as your mat. And then start to let your legs go side to side. So the goal here is to push your legs away from you. Let this be the kneecaps going from side to side. So it's not about trying to get to the floor. It's about pushing your legs away from you and moving your kneecaps side to side. Arms are on the ground. Keep your rib cage stationary. Don't let your rib cage fly off the floor. So your pelvis is tilting side to side. Feel that stretch in the waist, front of the hip. If you feel it in your low back, try to tilt your pelvis backwards. Activate your core when you do this. Close your eyes. Feel your way into where do you feel safe and where can you get a stretch. A really important part of the body when it comes to bone health. The pelvic area, the hips, the spine. Next time your legs go to the left, keep them there. Take your right hand, flex your wrist, reach your right hand. You want to lengthen this right side. So push the big toe edge of the right foot into the floor. Try to unbend that right hip, pushing the hip up towards the sky. Then reach away with the heel of your hand, stretching the right side of your body. Push your heart up towards the sky, adding that spinal extension. Stretching, open the front of your spine. Breathe to the right side. Feel a stretch. And then bring yourself back up to center. Let's go to the other side. Let your legs, push your left leg away from you. As you let your legs go to the side, let your head go to the left. Reach your left hand long. Push the left big toe edge of the foot into the floor, reaching the left leg away. Lengthen the left side of your body. Press your heart up, add that back bend. Stretch and breathe. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's take the strap. So you either loop the strap or tie it. And if you have something like a band, an exercise band, or if you have a towel or something you could push your legs into, take the strap up to the top thighs, and then you want your legs to be hip distance when you push out on the strap. Push out on the strap, feet are where they are. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back into the ground, pushing out on your strap, turning on your stabilizers, your hips, working your core. So keep your tushy cheeks soft. Even reach down to feel the tushy cheeks. Don't let them work when you tilt your pelvis. Really use the core muscles to do this. Think about drawing the pubic bone up towards the low ribs. So getting that contraction. You can even take your hands if you'd like and press them into your torso to see if you feel the activation of the core muscles, the obliques, transverse abdominis. Feel those muscles activate. Close your eyes. Feel the effectiveness of your stability, your fall prevention muscles, your fracture prevention muscles. And then bring yourself back to center. Now we're going to use the opposite. We're going to use the glutes. We're going to unbend the hip joint. We were using the core. Now we're going to use the glutes. So let your feet be where they are. Blanket is not too folded. The least amount of fold possible on your blanket when you're on this position is going to help to correct posture. So don't fold your blanket really high to support that roundness in your body. So the tightness you have in your chest and in your spine is what makes you need a blanket behind your head or need a pillow behind your head. If you could bring yourself onto the ground flat without any tension in your upper back or neck, then you're doing pretty good with posture in your spine, making sure you don't have excessive curve in the thoracic spine, and making sure that your shoulders and chest muscles are doing well. So this is a little self-postural assessment to be on the ground without a blanket. Then you start to put a little bit according to what you need. Do the least amount you need, so every time you're in this position, you can actually stretch what needs to be stretched. Move your feet, you're in a neutral position, push out in your strap. Now you're going to use your glutes here. We're going to unbend the hip joint with the glutes. So push out on the strap, squeeze your tushy cheeks, and then push away from the floor as you inhale to bring your body up away or bring your pelvis away from the ground. Bring your hands back here, feel your tushy cheeks active, and then bring yourself down. Squeeze the tushy, squeeze out on the strap, squeeze your buttocks. It's like you're trying to hold a pencil between your buttock cheeks, your tushy cheeks. You're squeezing in and up. Feel that in your body. Notice what that feels like. Push out and squeeze. And then bring yourself up and hold. Stay here. Push out on the strap. Stay here. Squeeze the tushy cheeks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze so you feel the heat. Reach back. Make sure you feel your buttocks active. And then bring yourself down. So this is a bridge posture, bringing up the lower body. For yoga for osteoporosis, we want to bring this to the thoracic spine. So we're going to do our bridge posture with a strap, bringing a bend into this part of the spine where your ribs are attached. So the best thing is to have your arms alongside your body like this, unless you could put them straight down. And that's usually for those that have a stronger practice, have been practicing for a while. It doesn't mean you're a beginner or you're advanced. It means this one works better for your body or this works better for your body. So don't get caught up in that. You got to learn how to crawl, walk, and then run. And maybe running is not something you'll do anymore in this lifetime, and that's okay. I won't be running anymore in this lifetime. So I'm accepting where I'm at. We need the blanket away from the body. We're going to hold this position for a minimum of 30 seconds. And if you need to come down at any point, please do so. Walk your feet closer to the body. That'll give you a little more bend in your spine. Push out on your strap. Tilt your pelvis back so your low back touches the ground. And then push your hands into the floor and get more narrow across the top of your body by sliding your shoulder blades to the spine. Bend your arms or straighten your arms, whatever is appropriate for you. Squeeze your tushy cheeks. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to bring yourself up and away from the floor. Close your eyes. Feel that back bend coming into your thoracic spine where your ribs are attached. Try to open up and stretch the front of the spine where the ribs are by the heart. Close your eyes, deep breaths. Stay in this posture. Push your feet in, push out on the strap, push your arms into the ground, and bend your spine. This posture is to strengthen your spine. So push the back of the bones, the back part of your spine, into itself. You're bending your spine, so each bone is going to make pressure on the bone next to it. And this is how we create spinal bone stimulation with bridge posture. Take one more breath. Bringing yourself down, go slow. Bring yourself all the way down. Draw your knees into your chest. Let the low back press into the ground. The next posture we're going to do is strengthening the core. It's a twisted position that we're going to hold with our core for a minimum of 30 seconds. Now, unless of course you need to come out earlier. This could be a lot of pressure on the low back if you're not contracting your core and holding and stabilizing with the stability muscles in the right way. You don't want your low back to be popping away. So this posture here, we twist to the side and then we hold it, either with the knees bent or the legs straight. And you're going to hold once you get here. So you need to make sure that when you come into this, that you actually have that core strength to manage where you've arrived. So we're going to pay attention to where we are. That posterior tilt that you bring into your low back, contracting your core, activating your core muscles, that will be helpful here when we come into this posture. Strengthening the spine, strengthening the structural muscles of the body. Take your hands to the side, contract your core, drawing your pubic bone up, and then bring your knees off the floor. You still have the strap there, so push out on the strap to activate stabilizing muscles. Exhale. You're going to inhale to the side to where you feel that it's a lot of work. And once you get there, you're going to stop. You're going to hold this for 30 seconds, really contract your core. If you want to explore adding a little more, you could try unbending the knees to see how that feels. Doing what's appropriate for you. This is your practice. Keep your shoulder blades on the ground, heart pressing up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath. Draw your knees back to center. Take a break here. We're going to come to the other side. So contract your core, close your eyes. Come into this to where you feel the intensity is appropriate for you to hold, pushing out on the strap. Straightening the legs if that's something you're going to do, or hovering. And then bringing yourself back to center. Draw the knees into your chest. Put your feet on the floor, bring your hands on your belly. Catch your breath. Then bring yourself onto your tummy. We're going to come and do the locust posture with the strap on our legs. So with locust, this is another back bend, pushing the bones into themselves to get that strength. So with the locust posture, the hands can either be alongside the body, or if you could clasp and take your hands off your body, you could do that as well, trying to get as much bend to come into the upper spine as possible. So let's begin with the forehead on the ground. Legs are pushing into the strap. Try to turn your soles of your feet up towards the sky, pushing into the strap. Let's take an exhale here, and then inhale to lift yourself up and away from the floor. Reach long with your feet, long with your fingers, long with your hands. Try to bend the upper spine as much as you can. Push the pubic bone towards the ground. Trying to tilt your pelvis back to protect your low back, just like you do when you're on your back. If you can clasp and you'd like to do that, you can clasp. Do whatever today feels right for you. Take one more breath. When you come down, take your hands, fold your hands, Let your forehead rest on the back of your hands. Wiggle your pelvis side to side. And then bend your knees. Let your legs go side to side. And then bring your feet down. Come onto your side. Reaching your arm up, come onto your side. And then bring yourself onto your back so we can take the strap off. Take the strap off of your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. Hold on behind your thighs. Stretching your low back, pressing the low back into the ground. Heart is open, front of your spine is still long. Noticing what you notice with those postures. How do you feel? Bring yourself onto the side, letting your head stay level with your shoulders as you slowly bring yourself up and away from the ground. Bring your blanket to the middle of the mat. We're going to come into the plank, either the full variation or the modification. You do what's appropriate for you. Posture, lots of postural strengthening work with the plank. A great way to strengthen your wrists, strengthen your body. So do what's appropriate. Take your hands pretty far forward, pointer fingers are forward. Take one foot back and then the other. Bring yourself up or keep the shins on the ground. Push your body weight back so you feel the calf stretching. Push your kneecaps up towards the sky. Bring your awareness to your pubic bone, activate your core, and draw your pubic bone towards your belly button and ribs, protecting the low back here. And then shoulder blades slide towards each other. Really establish that nice firm aspect of the shoulder girdle. Bring your awareness to your hands. Push the fingers into the floor. And then right where the fingers attach to the body or to the palms. Bring your awareness to the toes. Make sure the pinky toes are touching. All the toes are bending. Pushing through the center of the heel. Long spine from the tip of your spine to the crown of your head. Active head, don't let it hang. Last breath. And then bring yourself down. Come into a rest, kneeling, squatting, whatever you can do. Close your eyes, catch your breath. Breathe down to your pelvis to slow down the breath.
And then open your eyes. So we're going to come to standing. Let's prepare the feet. Flip your toes under. Try to bring your ankles together if you can. Do whatever you can with your feet. Some of you can do this, some not. Bringing your body weight back will make it a little more substantial if you activate your core, trying to flatten out the low back, bringing your body weight back. See if that feels okay for you. Take one more breath. Do a squat before we come up for those that can. You could take your blanket and fold your blanket and put your heels on it if you'd like. Can make the squat a little easier. Of course, you have to have knees that bend in order to do this. Helps to tonify the pelvic floor area. So either on the blanket or off, do what's appropriate. Do this if you can, and if you can't do that, that's okay. Just before we come to standing, wanted to do this. For those that are not doing the squat, come onto your shins, be in a kneeling position, and bring one foot forward, flip the back toes under, and then bring yourself up. For those that are in a squatting position, can you rise from this position without collapsing your spine, without looking down with your head to do it? Can you unload from your joints? So push your feet into the floor. If you bring your hands together, you push your hands, let your tushy go out, and then slowly bring yourself up. Go slow, because your blood vessels need to calibrate with this new body position. So do whatever you can, come up whatever way feels appropriate for you. And let's prepare our space. Moving the blanket off. Getting a chair. So challenging yourself when you can, and challenging yourself appropriately. So some of these may be way too intense, but it doesn't mean you cannot do yoga for osteoporosis. It means you're not doing that thing. There's 20 plus things that are happening in the practice today or whenever. And so you do what you can, and don't get frustrated thinking black or white. I could do this or I can't do that. Rather, finding where you are, what you can do. Some of these things you may be able to get back, some you might not ever get back. Knee flexion is one of those. It's a hard thing to try to get to because it's kind of painful when you have those issues. All right, let's come into mountain, stack our joints from a standing position. This is an active posture. Bring your toes together, bring your body weight forward so you feel the toes active. Bring your body weight back so you feel the heels and you feel the glutes activate. Hands are down alongside your body. Push your feet into the floor. Try to rip the floor apart with your feet so you feel the activation of the hips, like you have a strap around your legs. Pubic bone, activate it and draw it up towards your belly, pointing your tailbone down, tilting your pelvis into a posterior tilt, or a slight activation of that. Push your hands back, reach down with your fingers, push down, get tall in your spine, arrange your head on top of your spine, chin is parallel towards the ground. Pushing back, you're active here. Imagine you're up against a wall and you're pushing your head, your shoulder blades, and your sacrum and the back of the hands back onto a wall. So very active, feel the back of your body working. This is called Tadasana Mountain. It's a posture of alignment. Joint alignment. That's how you stay safe, and that's also how you create maximum bone building stimulation. Take one more breath. It's a perfect way to launch into balance, tree posture. So from an aligned position, push your body weight over. Bend your knee and your toes. Put your knee out to the side. Keep your foot on the floor. And then bring your foot up in between your ankle and your knee. Stay here. Do anything you'd like with your hands. Find that core activation. Find that strength. Look forward.
and manage the movement that's coming into your body and into your mind. Find the balance. Like you're a carousel pony, keep coming back to the pole, back to center, back to center. Find that core strength. Find it in your core. Take one more breath. Bring your knee forward. Bring your foot down. Find mountain. Push back with your tailbone, back with your shoulder blades, back with your head, back with your hands. Down into the ground with your feet, long in your spine. And from here, push to the other side. Bend the toes, bend the knee. Bring the foot up in between the ankle and the knee. Find stability. Find stability in the movement. There will be a wiggle. Still stay stable in that wiggle. One more breath. And then bring yourself out. Tree, great for balance, also great for strengthening your hip and your pelvis. You're doing a single leg balance, compressive force in the angle at which your hip needs to operate all day long to hold you upright. So it's a great posture as often as possible, maybe even daily, finding that in your body. So let's come into another variation of loading up the hip joint, this time from a different angle. So bring your block onto your chair. So we're going to do a posture called Warrior 3. And the Warrior 3 is a tilting forward in the hip joint, coming into wherever you can come close to level. At some point, if you're able to bring the arms off the chair, that will be what we do as well. But let's use the chair to get us in there so we really stay in the hip when we bend and not in the spine. Okay, because at some point, if you can't manage this, it'll come into your spine. And then that's going to compress the front of the spine, which is how spinal wedge fractures happen. So coming not too close to your chair, I'm going to say that that's a big one. Don't be too close to the chair. The toes are pointing forward, and you'll need to be hip distance for this. So make sure your feet are not too wide. And then put your hand in your chair, push your tushy back, and start to bend your body. And you're going to notice a stretch in the hamstrings and in the glute muscles. And then whatever leg you're going to come on, push your body weight over there. Push that leg down into the ground to get really stable, activating your core. Take your opposite foot back. Then if you're able to go a little farther, you're going to lift the back foot off. Toes are pointing down, bringing yourself farther. Now maybe you could bring yourself down on to the seat of the chair. Or if you need to be on a block, take your hand on a block. And for you, it may be the side that you're lifting your leg up, or it might be the opposite. Try to lift that opposite leg up and push the leg you're standing on into the ground to maintain the stable pelvis when you do this. If you would like to take your opposite arm off the floor, off the chair, so opposite arm, opposite leg, try that. Push your leg you're standing on in the ground. Activate your core to stabilize your body in this position. Take one more breath. To come out, get your head lifted and bend your standing leg.
Take yourself out of the tension. Bring yourself back to a neutral. Catch your breath before you come to the other side. Keep your mouth closed. Breathe down to your pelvis and your feet to catch your breath. Take one more breath. The other side, toes are together, hand on your chair. Push your body weight back as you bend. Take your back foot back, toes are down, toenails are pointing down. Don't let your toes flail open. You're not going to come into an open hip here. You want to stay real square in your pelvis here, contracted and stabilized. Then push yourself back, start to bend down, and then maybe you can come down onto the chair. Maybe you need a block, maybe not. So it's there in case you need it. Lift your foot up. Now push yourself back onto that standing leg and push that standing leg into the floor. Hip bones are facing down, toes are facing down. An active head, don't let your head hang here. Really strengthen that stabilizing leg, the one you're standing on. If you feel that you want to bring the opposite arm off from your leg that's back, try that, or not. Take one more breath. Keep your head active, bend the standing leg, bring yourself back up into Tadasana to catch your breath. Long spine, push yourself back as if you're up against a wall to activate the back of your body. That's your hanger, that's what helps support posture. Take one more breath. So we're going to come into Warrior Two today on a chair. So you're going to get the chair. Now the thing about this, so it might be manageable for some of you, some not. Not everybody can spread their legs wide, which is really interesting that we lose this ability in our body and we don't notice it until we challenge ourselves like this. So to come into the Warrior Two, you need a pretty wide stance. And that front leg, you want the knee to be all the way at the chair, and then the thigh is resting on the chair. The back leg is back, toes are pointing in, heel is away. If you are petite, let's say 5'2" or less, maybe that front foot can't be on the ground, you might need to put this underneath your foot. So see, we're all different, so see what it works in your body. For many of you, even being here in this low of a position in the Warrior Two may be enough. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Reach your hands down, exhale. As you inhale, like you're in honey, with resistance, bring your arms up, keep your neck long. Don't become short in the neck, keep your shoulders down. From here, if you'd like to lift your body off the chair, you can come into the Warrior Two in this deep variation, which will be much more challenging in the joints, or stay down. But wherever you are, push your front heel into the floor, front foot, grab the floor with the front foot, and then the back foot, and push the pinky toe edge into the ground, and the back foot a lot. Reach long with your fingers, reach back with your hands, long with your neck. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down and out. Much more pressure when you have a chair between your legs like this. When you go as low as you do in your joints, people are pretty amazed when they do this from a chair, how much more challenging it is and how hard it is to get in that lift off position because you're in really deep hip and knee flexion. So do what's appropriate for you and put that front leg or the back leg where it needs to be in your body. Paying attention to your joints, your skeletal uniqueness. to find the appropriate postures. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and they're down. Reach down with your hands. Exhale. Inhale to lift your arms up with resistance. And then if you are going to come up, you bring yourself up, pushing your feet into the floor. That's really important. Look over the front fingers. This is a posture of strength. This is a warrior posture. Push your front foot into the floor, back foot into the floor. Hands are back, neck is long, heart is lifted. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down. Bring yourself out. Sit on your chair. Bring your hands here. Close your eyes if you can, if you feel comfortable to close your eyes to catch your breath. And then take one more breath. Coming up, come off your chair. Bring the chair to the side. Get your block. So we're going to do the twisted triangle. I'd like you to be pretty far away from the chair, farther than you usually are. Feet are 2.5 feet apart, toes are pointing forward. We bend at the hip joint to come forward. So let's bend at the hip joint. Push both feet into the floor a lot. It'll give you the ability to bend more. Bring your hand either to the top of the chair, the back of the chair, or to the block. And you're a decent distance away from the chair. Push the back foot into the floor. Really spiral your body here. Push your feet. Keep your legs straight. Straight spine, and then rotate your heart open. Balance, flexibility, and strength. Twisted triangle. Bending the front leg. Come up and out. Let's go to the other side. You're staying a decent distance away from the chair so that you're not leaning on the chair, but leaning into your body and relying on the muscles, the joints of the body. Toes are forward, pushing your feet into the floor. You're going to lift your chest, lengthen the front of your spine, bend yourself forward. Take your hand either to the back, onto the seat, or onto the block. You decide. Push away from the floor. Lengthen your spine. Push your heart forward and rotate. Activate your core. Use your feet. Take one more breath. Bend the front leg to bring yourself out. Bring yourself slowly up, back to Tadasana Mountain. And then shake. Coming into chair, let's get the strap and the block. Put the block between your legs. So ideally, I usually don't teach this on YouTube because I can't see you. I'd rather be in person, and I'd rather be in a class so I know you're safe. Only those of you that are pretty secure in your posture and in your balance, put a strap on your upper thighs because we're going to stand up in chair. So this is not for those of you that have weak balance or that are newer to the practice. This is for those of you that are pretty strong practitioners. So if you are newer, put the block between your legs and put the strap in your arms. So you would switch it. For those of you that have a pretty strong practice and pretty good balance, come to sit down, be at the edge of the chair. You've got the strap on your legs. All of us are going to come into this. It's a deep hip bend. So when you're ready, you're going to deeply bend your hip, push your tushy back, lift your arms up in chair. If you have a strap on your legs, push out on the strap, push your feet into the ground, squeeze your block and lift your arms. And if you have the block between your legs, squeeze the block, push out on the strap in your arms. The bend is at the hip joint. Take one more breath. Come to be in mountain posture if you're standing, and if you're seated, take your strap off and then bring yourself up into mountain. Alignment, rearrange everything. Catch your breath. Take one more breath. So we're going to come back down onto the ground. Let the dust settle. Actually, let your sparkles settle as if you were a snow globe. You'll need your strap and your blanket. Notice how your legs are feeling, maybe a little like jelly. Bring yourself down, bending your legs appropriately, keeping your spine nice. Come down onto the ground. Bring yourself all the way down. So grateful to be here on the ground. Let everything settle. Let's stretch our legs and our back. Relieve and release tension. Take your strap, draw your feet in, put the strap on the feet, and then hold the legs pretty wide. A little like wider than your body. And then let the legs go back towards the wall behind you. Try to keep your front spine from rounding. Legs straight if you can. Stretching the legs, stretching the glutes, stretching the low back. Neck is long. Catch your breath. And then bring the feet closer. Keep your legs straight if you can. See if you could stretch all the way down the back, posterior chain, pushing your knees away from you if you can. Not everyone can do the straight legs. That's okay. But do what you can to stretch the back of your legs. Push your legs away from you. Push your belly towards your spine. Flatten your low back into the ground. Take one more breath. And then take your strap off. Bring your knees into your chest. The last posture of the day. Letting all the sparkles settle. Take your body into a fully stretched position. Find Shavasana in your body. Legs are straight, palms are up towards the sky. Close your eyes. Let everything go. Let everything relax. Gently begin to deepen your breath and start to bring movement into your body. And draw your knees into your chest. Come all the way onto your side. Take your hand onto the ground, bringing yourself up. Close your eyes. Bring your hands together at your heart. Sit nice and tall in your spine. Let's close with sound, a gentle humming sound to settle the sparkles like a snow globe. All that we shook up today, mentally, physically, maybe even emotionally. Take your hands, press your hands to your heart. Big exhale. Inhale. Bowing in gratitude for the practice, bowing in how proud you are of yourself for showing up, doing what you did, in all the times that you show up, strengthening your body, your mind, your soul. Self-care, self-love, stronger bones, stronger posture, stronger alignment. That means something. It means that you're going to have a better quality of life. And I don't just say that to say it, because I know it's the case. Because if we do nothing, the degenerative quality of aging takes over. We get weaker in our balance, potentially fall, fracture, or lose our capacity to move and to dance and to travel. And that's not good. So in order to have happy, to have big, to be able to have choices, to do what you want, we need this, what we live in, to be happy and healthy and functional. All right, today's practice was definitely a challenge. Penny, if you're still here, I don't know anything about you, but today was a very strong practice. But I know the other ladies that are here and they're all strong. So, which it'll be strong for them too. Okay, yes, there will be a replay. Oh, great. I love that, Penny. All right, Penny, we got to get your own account. But even if you come in as Robert Hope, that's good too. You're welcome, Carol Yap. Strong today, right? But I know you girls can do it because I'm thinking Donna's here, Sharon's here, Carol's here. They're strong. They could do this. I definitely feel kind of that weakness that comes into muscles. Great. Yeah, and only try appropriately, Penny. That's the other thing. You do you, everyone else is taken. I do this 5 days a week. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Yes, I had a hip replacement 6 years ago, but I slowly and surely built myself back up to have all of the strength in my joints and in my body. Oh, Kathy. Great. Awesome. Where's Stevie? I don't think Stevie's here. I think she's out of town. Great. Oh, good. See, you girls like that strong stuff. So, and I'm really wanting to do that strong stuff. So we're going to be doing strong stuff. And Penny, so great to have you here. Okay, good. Thank you, Penny. And also, Penny, I have lots of recorded classes to watch. So there's a lot of things on there. And yeah, it was challenging. It was challenging. All right. But isn't it great to be challenged? I love it. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. And do what you can every day, ladies, for strong bones. I'll be back on Saturday. Penny, I also teach Wednesday and Saturday mornings on YouTube, a more mellow class on the floor, really building up the foundational structural aspects of our body. This is my hardest class, yoga for osteoporosis, because it focuses on bones, the hardest substance in our body, next to our teeth. Thanks, Sharon. Oh, great. You love the podcast, Kathy. Great. This week I talked about magnesium. You better be taking your magnesium and you better figure out what's depleting your magnesium. So that's important. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'm off to do what I do. All right. I'll see you all later. Have a great day.